Lucia, hello, good morning, how are you? Sorry, good morning. Sorry, I gotta fix this. It keeps going off. I'm gonna spend the entire show reaching over to turn this off. How do I fix that? I don't know how to fix that. I give up. Whatever. We're just gonna go with it. You're at home now? I'm glad you're at home. Whoops, wrong show. Go back. Funky Junk, good morning. Luciana. Oh, I see it now. Okay. Luciana Voss. I have to fix my whatnot profile. Yeah. It kind of will give you an automatic profile if you don't tell it what you want. I find that I'm feeling a little bit better. Yesterday, it took some time. It took most of the afternoon to find a virtual doctor because I don't have a family doctor. So usually I use an app, but because it was dizziness, they didn't want to diagnose me, so I had to go into a walk-in clinic at a pharmacy and sit down with a nurse and then talk to a doctor by video screen. I think I talked to him for like less than 2 minutes. So, and she was like just setting up, like she was answering about 6 other messages from people at the same time as she was dealing with me. It was quite interesting. It's quite interesting to see how they Canada is wild. It's Canada, so it's not it's Canadian medicine in the rural area. So yeah, so I finally got someone. Yeah. So in rural Ontario, in rural Canada, we don't have as many doctors. Obviously, doctors want to be in bigger hospitals and et cetera, et cetera. And so it's we do end up getting doctors and nurses and that, but basically you get seen by a nurse first, and then the nurse like does your blood pressure and does all the things to check you out, and then, which is good because that doesn't normally happen when you go into a doctor's office. And so she checked everything out and she talked to me about my history, and then the doctor was able to just go, okay, I have all the information I need, here's your prescription. So I have a prescription and I just took the pill. So hopefully by the time that the dizziness gets really bad, the pill will kick in, because it did yesterday. So yeah, and I have a pill also for my stomach issues. It's raining there. Oh, thank God. Like, is it raining a lot? It's Kitten Lady Rescue. It's part of my the condition I have. If I push my body too far, it rears its ugly head, and I get it, and then I could get it for months on end. So I'm hoping that I can. There it goes. See, hopefully I can stave it off the pass. And maybe it's me talking that does. Maybe I just, when I'm sitting very still, I'm fine. It's till I get moving. Okay, there were some more people that came in and I missed you. I'm sorry. Good morning, Picky Picks. How are you? Who else came in? Absolute Flipping Deals is in the house. And Luciana is here, new to Whatnot. Thin Slice, good morning. Pink Vintage Market Co, good morning. Kicked Up Bid, good morning. Who else is here? Jenny Lou Who, how are you? Hello, Busy Yarn. I love that name. Tucker's Treasures, what's up? How are you doing? And Funky Junk Shop is here. Baby Huey's Bakery. Tell me more. I need to know more. That sounds so cool. Jojo, good morning. Fatima, or is it Fatima? You tell me. Good morning, Olga. Good morning, Yard Yeller. Cockadoodle Doo. What's up with you? Shaylee, good morning. Eastender Resale is in the house. Kitten Lady Rescue is in the house. Let's see. Any rain is a lot at this point. Not a lot of rain. Yeah, so just so you know, everyone, I am Absolute Flipping Deals is in the middle of a red zone, way too close to a forest fire that's currently out of control. And the red zone keeps, yesterday morning, the red zone was fine and wasn't too close to us. Today, the red zone is getting closer to us, which I'm worried about because we have a waterfront festival supposed to be happening. So yeah, Thinly Slices, I'm in the red. We're crispy out here. My goodness, Cornwall. It is like, we're like super dry. We got a little bit of the rain. I think, Donna, that's what's on top of you is what I had like at about 6:30 a.m. 6:30 a.m. we had a little bit of rain, so it's still wet outside, but that will just dissipate. It'll disappear in about an hour. So we need more rain. We definitely need more rain. So everyone pray for rain, but please pray for it to be on Thursday and Friday, and then not Saturday, and then it can happen again on Sunday. Just need it to stop on Saturday. With my luck, we're going to get rain on during this, because there's no rain date. We are not doing this on Sunday. We did not. There's no discussion about a rain date. So it's just like, we're all just going to dance in the rain, I guess. The Hobby Habitat, good morning. Kelly Irish, good morning. Gerard, good morning. Bonjour, how are you? Kin Lady Rescue says they ordered me a walker until they figure mine out. Oh my goodness. Well, I mean, that's good. As long as it doesn't cost. I mean, I know in America things cost like our friend the Faja is going through cancer treatment. If you don't already know the Faja is just this very sweet man, and he has 2 kids who are also they're not kids, they're adults now, and they are they're in Colorado, and he's got a deductible he needs to pay in order to get his cancer treatment. Now, let me tell you something, Thinly Sliced. You can say what you want about Canadian medicine, but nobody goes bankrupt or has to fundraise to pay a deductible to get life-saving cancer care here. Sorry. People don't do that unless they want to get something fancy in another country, but then that's up to them. But I sell the world. Holy cow, how do you do that? I want to know. Good morning, Pat. Good morning. Good morning, Melody. Good morning to Nick, and good morning to They Make Me Smile, Erica. Good morning, love. How are you? And baby Huey, tell me about your bakery. I want to know more. Oops, that didn't sound good. It's okay. It's just another thing I've broken today. It's all good. It's good morning. Okay, so this is a topic day. This is a topic morning. It's really pretty, isn't it? I know I've got something underneath that's not so elegant, but I just didn't feel like showing boobage at all. So you don't get any cleavage. Sorry. Okay, let me just put this down. I will try to get Shaylee says, I told my husband we need to move to Canada because I can't get my hysterectomy. No, 75% of the cost, which is $45,000. Are you listening? Are you listening, folks? This is crazy. You'd wear it the same way. Nietzsche, good morning. Where do you start? Start wherever. Tell us all. Ryan, good morning. It is not 1,000,000 degrees in Ontario today. Let me think. I read Donna's thing. I think I went a little crazy last week buying, got 15 packages at the post office. Can you all ban me? That's the only way to do it. It's going to be 50. Oh mon Dieu. That is très chaud. Très, très chaud. Vrai chaud. Mon Dieu. Oh mon Dieu. Tabernacalis. That is way too hot. Today, it's supposed to rain again at 4 p.m. Donnie, you might get some rain, like at 5 or something, or 6. It's supposed to rain. We have a whole 35% chance of rain. It is going to be 32 degrees here. Sleek Styles, good morning. It's Tabernacle. Tabernacle. I know it. And Calise is the chalice, so I'm just saying tabernacle and chalice. And I put an explicit on anyways. It's supposed to rain on Saturday. Oh my forking Lord. No. Oh, Shaylee, she means 50 degrees centigrade Celsius. So hang on. Let me tell you what that means in Fahrenheit. Hey, Alexa, what's 50 degrees Celsius in Fahrenheit?
50 degrees Celsius is 122 degrees Fahrenheit.
122. So Texas morning, basically. And Lucia says it's going to be 40 degrees in Toronto. That's because you're a concrete jungle. Part of it. Arkansas. I want to say Arkansas, 122 degrees Fahrenheit. Melody, just stay in and have freezies all day. That would be my solution. Do not go outside. Okay, so Huey's Bakery, 92. For starters, the name comes from being nicknamed after the old cartoon Baby Huey. I love that. And because Huey was my nickname in college and culinary school. That is so cute. I love it. Yeah, definitely F instead of C, although C means something else. Okay, so for us on Saturday, it says partly cloudy skies early, followed by mostly cloudy skies and a few showers later at night. I'll take later at night. I'm okay with later at night because most of what's going to happen during the festival is going to happen from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. So later at night could be like at the end, and that just all we're going to have is the food tent. Though the food's going to be closed at 9-ish. We're going to have the beer tent and the stage. That's it. So some people will dance in the rain. We'll have to cover up the equipment on the stage. We'll have to be ready for that. But that's what it says right now. Okay. Melody says we called my brother Baby Huey. That's so cute. Indigo Health and live stream. Good morning. Okay, let me get into this. So you're not looking at like this background. I have a very fancy phone holder today because I own cajillion phone holders, but can I find one when I need one? No. Of course not. Okay. So we're finished talking about the weather. We've done I feel like I'm in England. We've talked about the weather. Baby Huey says, I've been baking since I was 13 years old when I graduated high school, went to business school at Marshall University, then culinary school in Italy. Ooh, so you can bake like, you're not just like cartoon baking. You're like, okay. Everyone follow Baby Huey's Bakery because it's making me hungry and somebody's got to buy his food and tell me all about it because I'm very hungry now. I'm always hungry though, to be honest. Okay, let me just adjust this fancy system. Okay, Kim, learn how to turn. No, this way. Yes. Okay. You know what? I'm doing this and then I'm gonna change it. All right. Can you all see that? Everybody can see that? I'm gonna turn it around so you're not looking at my face. So, all right. Okay. So you feel free to share your shows. If you have questions, please kind of hold them if they're not Raid Train related till the end. Just because I apologize, but I gotta go through this. I've been promising to do this. Let me just double check one thing before we get started is that am I on YouTube right now? Because otherwise I will cry. YouTube. Please, please, please be working on YouTube. Good morning, Lake El Manor. How are you? Okay, let's see. View channel. Yes. Thank the Lord Jesus. Okay. And anybody else I can thank. Thank them all. Whoever's responsible for that. Okay. All right. Fancy system. Fancy dancy system. There we go. All right. Let me switch. Baby Huey says, and I started the business a few years ago as a side gig, and my fiance Danny sells on here as a jewelry seller. So I started on here 3 weeks ago. Welcome. That is so exciting. I am excited to meet you. Okay. Hang on. I need to put something here. No. There. Luciana says, how is Whatnot for us Canadians? Is it worth our time? I'm having a lot of fun, but all the shows I watch are from the US. Well, welcome to a Canadian show, and everybody wave who's in Canada so that Luciana can follow you and check out your shows. Welcome. I'm a Canadian seller. I'm in Hastings, Ontario, Canada, but what I'm about to talk about is an international topic. It is how to raid train today. So there you go. Funky Junk Shop, True North Collectibles just showed up. You got lots of people. Kelly Irish is vintage decor, Northern BC. Sleek Styles is Canadian. Melody's in here, Canadian. There's all kinds of Canadians. You're gonna find a ton. But let's. Oh, son of a nutcracker! I'm gonna be doing this the entire time, reaching and doing that. Okay, let's get started. Let's get it started in here. Okay, there we go. I know this is a very fancy system today. One of these days I will get OBS, I promise, but that day is not now. Okay, so welcome into How to Raid Train, the unofficial whatnot How to Raid Train discussion for today. Let's just talk about first, before I go into anything, what is a raid train? So a raid train is a group of sellers who schedule together to do common shows over a period of time on a day or multiple days. It could be for a week or it could be for one day. So it all just depends. It all just depends. It's up to you. The raid train conductor decides how long the raid train is going to be. It's usually for one day, and each seller schedules a time. They pick the time that they're going to go, and then a raid is a feature of Whatnot, where when you end your show, you can take the viewers that you have in your show and bring them into the next show. So on a raid train, the first person does their show and then they raid into the next person and the next person raids into the next person, etc., all the way to the end. So a raid is not a bad thing. When I first started on Whatnot, I thought a raid was a bad thing. So, oh, you're welcome, Linny. I talk about tariffs a lot, but not today. Not today. So read the train rules before you sign up. How are you going to find raid trains? You can just search for raid trains on Whatnot and find shows and topics that you're interested in. You can come on to shows like this in the community group and say, I'm looking for raid trains to join. And people who run raid trains will tell you if there's raid trains that you can join. There's a whole ton of raid trains, and it totally depends on your category. But you will find raid trains. You can even post on like Facebook, Whatnot groups and say, I'm looking to join a raid train, and people will respond with all kinds of lists of raid trains for you. Raid trains are very plentiful now. 2 years ago, when I first started looking into doing raid trains, there weren't as many raid trains as there are now. So when you find a raid train that you're interested in joining, make sure that you read the train rules before you sign up. Make sure that you can do the theme. Make sure that you have the right amount of stuff for the time that if you're going to do an hour show, do you have enough stuff to run for an entire hour? Or are you going to be tap dancing for the rest of, selling for 30 minutes and then tap dancing for the rest of the hour? Giveaways. Do they require giveaways? If you don't want to do giveaways, then you shouldn't pick raid trains that require you to do giveaways. What's the style of sale? Is it fast and furious? Is it sudden death? Is it chill and relax? Like, what's the vibe of the raid train, and does that match you? And is preloading recommended or is it required? Some raid trains, absolutely, it is required. No, whoops, absolutely, is it required that you have to preload. My recommendation is that you preload anyways, unless it's a raid train where you are supposed to just unbox. It could be an unboxing raid train, right? Good morning, Ginger. Good morning, Angie. Good morning, everybody. Welcome in. So that's first and foremost. Okay, next page. Remember that it's a commitment. The train depends on every single person. Late cancellations harm the train. People who don't schedule their shows until the last minute harm the train. People who are not participating and also promoting the train harm the train, because everybody's trying to work together. It's a collaboration. So if you sign up for a raid train, it's a commitment. You need to, because other people are depending on you. It's not just about you anymore. It's about a whole bunch of people. So if you feel like you can't absolutely commit to that time that you signed up for, don't sign up for the time. Don't do it. Don't do it, please. Also, very important, schedule your show immediately. When you sign up for one of my raid trains, I make you schedule your show while you're filling in the form. So you have to go over to the Whatnot app, open the Whatnot app, schedule your show, and then come back, and then you can hit save and schedule your show. But I want the link to your show to prove that you actually did schedule your show. Some raid trains don't require that, and so people will book a show. Well, they'll put themselves in to do a show, and then they'll totally forget about it and won't have their show booked, so they haven't built up any bookmarks. Always schedule your show ahead of time. Collecting bookmarks. Bookmarks are gold. You want as many bookmarks as possible. Bookmarks are the thing that most people pay attention to because it says the show that you were interested in is about to start. Come on over. The show you were interested in has started. Come on in. People pay attention to those notifications more than any of the other notifications. And I'm sure you found the same thing if you've been on Whatnot for a while and follow a lot of people. You ignore most of the notifications that you get because you get a lot. And also, when you schedule your show immediately, you are helping to support the other sellers in the raid train, because people tend to look for that raid train and bookmark all the other shows in that raid train. So make sure you schedule your show immediately, even if it's not required. Then when the group chats, whether there's a group chat on a website or a group chat on Whatnot, there tends to be a group chat that gets created. When that group chat gets created, network, introduce yourself. Say, oh, hi, my name is Kim. I'm the Red Rooster. I'm an auctioneer near Hastings, Ontario, Canada, and I sell a variety of things, basically anything that stays still long enough. I mostly do estate sales and deal hunting. Because this is your opportunity to build up your circle, increase the circle of who you know on Whatnot and who you can work with in the future. That the people on my recommendation is that you bookmark everybody's show that's on the raid train, and that you try and go into as many shows as possible on that day during the raid train to say hi, to encourage them, to just increase the chat, share their shows as well as your own, and just network and collaborate. It helps you help yourself when you help other people. And really important, when you're on a raid train, advertise your show. Share it on social media. Go into community chat shows like this and say, I'm on a raid train next week. It's really exciting. It's Barbie dolls without heads raid train. Or it's, I don't know, minifigs, custom minifigs raid train, right? You want to share it on as many places as possible. Social media is totally free to share. Use that share button. Don't just share your show, but also advertise some of the real banger pieces that you have, the items that you like. You can actually go into your store, pick an item go into the show, the raid train show, go into the shop, your store, pick that item, click on it, and there'll be a share button so that you can share it to social media as well. And then it'll show a picture of that item, and you can actually get a link too. Stop doing that. Okay. So make sure you also share it to your contacts. If you have a business with an email list, then make sure you're always sending to your email list the information about your shows that you have coming up on Whatnot. Raid train shows or otherwise. Always be sharing your shows, no matter what. Okay, next up, bring your own mods. Most raid trains have moderators that will be in and out of they're the conductors and the helpers, and they will give you a list of who they want you to moderate. Make sure you put those people on as moderators, but also bring your own mods, if you can, to a raid train to help you out, to keep the flow going. They're just invaluable. So, and if you don't have anybody to mod in the group chat for the raid train, say, is anybody available to mod for me? I don't have anyone today, and I would appreciate the extra help. Usually people will step up to the plate if they can. Always start a few minutes early. If your show is supposed to start at 10 a.m., don't start at 10 a.m. Start at 3 minutes to or 4 minutes to, because glitches happen And sometimes you have trouble, all of a sudden you realize that the app needs to be updated, and that takes a minute or two, or there's something wrong with your phone, or you have to go grab a charger. I've done that. Start a few minutes early, so that, but not too early. You don't want to be 20 minutes early. That's basically you're eating into the other person's time. But start a few minutes early. Because, and when you go live, to boost the algorithm, don't just sit there and have a chat with people. Starts running some items, just some other items, maybe items that aren't related to the theme, or items that are related to the theme but don't have any bookmarks on them. Just run a few items. Save your really exciting banger stuff until when the raid happens, because obviously that means more people, more possible bids. But start running items to boost that algorithm right from the beginning. Pin, talk about it, run it. Pin, talk about it, run it. Remember that. Pin, talk, run. Pin, talk, flash sale. In fact, do some flash sales. That's a great way to sort of have something to talk about, have something to sell, boost the algorithm at the same time without eating into, if you only have so many items in your auction, you can use flash sales as an alternative to pin, talk about, and then run a flash sale, run a few flash sales in the minutes leading up to when the raid is actually going to come in. So, and be prepared for when the raid comes. When you get raided, yeah, make sure you thank the raiding seller. Encourage everyone to bookmark and follow. It is as simple as this. Thank you so much, Pickles44, for rating. You are awesome. Your show was so much fun. Everyone, please follow Pickles44 and bookmark their upcoming shows. And I really appreciate everybody coming in. Hello, my name is Kim. I'm the Red Rooster. I'm so glad Pickles brought you over here. We're going to just run this next thing, and then I'll talk a little bit more about myself. Run something, talk about yourself. Remind people, if you have coupons, make sure you say, don't forget to look in the show notes for coupons. I have a new buyer coupon, and I have a special coupon for those who aren't part of my to help with offset shipping or something like that. I know you didn't. I'm just making it up. I'm making it up as I go along, Pickles. Your name was there. It's your fault. You said hi to Melody. So that's the name I saw. So always thank the rating seller. Encourage everyone to bookmark and follow. Run a giveaway if it's required. And then sell, sell, sell. Again, pin, talk, run. Pin, talk, run. You have a very brief period of time when you get rated. Those people aren't guaranteed to stay in your show, so they are going to need to be given a reason to stay. And the best reason to stay is for you to just go nuts on pin, talk, run, pin, talk, run. Run things fast and furious if that's a pace you can handle, but you want to start selling right away. Don't wait to introduce yourself, talk about things, yada, yada, yada. Quick introduction. Thank you so much for rating. Hi, my name is Kim. We're going to run the next thing. I'm so excited that you're here. Isn't this a fun raid train? Make sure you thank the person who's run the raid train, but you can do that at any point in the show. Wakey, wakey. So move fast, because people will swipe out if they aren't entertained. And I've seen this many times. People come in, the person who got raided starts talking and not running, and people get bored and they swipe out. So you could get a raid of like 40 people or 20 people, and then it just goes, you can just watch the numbers go as everyone swipes out because it's not what they're looking for. Here's some things to consider before your show. Consider the show before you. Yes. Okay. Consider the show before you. Consider. So say it was Angie's this and that who raids into me. I'm going to go and I'm going to look at what Angie has in her auction to see what is, or if she doesn't have anything loaded in her auction yet, I'll go to her profile, read her profile. Maybe I'll watch a couple of shows or watch some clips she has on her profile to see, does she have similar items for me? What kind of stuff does she sell? Because the people that she brings in from her show are going to be, the majority of them are going to be her folks. And those folks have a certain vibe and then they're interested in certain items that Angie sells. So I'm going to start off with stuff that's similar to what Angie sells. If Angie was selling clothing, I might start off with some clothing items or some accessories, jewelry, something that relates to it. I'll put that at the beginning for those people who just rated in, and that will keep my numbers up. And as my numbers go up, you will get more people in. The algorithm likes it when there's numbers and people are chatting and things are happening and you're running items. So think about the person before you. You can adjust the way the if you don't have anything that relates, then don't worry about it. Just say, hey, welcome in. I know you were just in a toy show. Now we're going to be doing vintage decor. Let me tell you, some of this stuff your mom is going to love, or is going to make a great gift, or is a great place for displaying your toys. Like, here's this awesome plate that you can put all your toys on. You can relate to just about anything if you think about it. So look at the person before you and consider. Now, this is so important. This part is so important. I cannot stress this enough. Positive vibes only. During your show, you have to stay positive, even if there's no one in your show, even if nobody's talking. 80 to 90% of people in a show will not say a single word. Look at my chat right now. There's 30 people. It says there's 30 people in here right now. It's I appreciate what True North Collectibles said, and thank you, Angie. But there's not a lot of chatter because 80 to 90% of people who come into a show are never going to say a word. And that's okay. That's why you're always touching and running. So pin, talk about it, run it. Pin, talk about it, run it. Pin, talk about it, flash sale. Good morning, Mamarazzi. So make sure you stay positive. If somebody doesn't buy, you run through 5 things and nobody's still bought anything, keep going. It's all right. It's just that the people in the room at that moment aren't interested. But keep up the positivity. Just say, oh, no worries. Okay, let's go to the next thing. I really love this. Pin, talk about it, run it. Next thing, pin, talk about it, run it. The more you keep going with pin, talk about it, run it, the more people are going to stay in to see what the next thing is and to just keep with your vibe. Positive vibes matter. I've been in shows in raid trains where the person starts going, oh, nobody wants this. Nobody's buying my stuff today. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Oh, this is awful. I'm just like, I can't leave. It's my raid train. I have to be in this show. But if it wasn't my raid train, I'd be out. I'd be gone. Like, and then, sending positive energy to people. If you feel like somebody's down in a show, if you're on a raid train and you see that somebody's feeling a little down, tell them something nice. Tell them that you love their hair, their glasses, their makeup, the what they have. And Angie says, I feel like that, but hold that in till after it's over. Yeah. And remember, if you think positively, and remember that maybe that one day you will be, you won't sell a single thing, but that doesn't mean that you just didn't build a relationship with all those people. So you may be on a raid train and meet and get 10 more follows from it. And those people don't buy anything that day, but they just followed you. So they're going to come back. You just got extra bookmarks. So make sure to say, I'm going to run the next thing, but I just want to remind you, I have a show next week. I'm going to be doing this really fun game with vintage decor. So come in and check it out. Or I'm going to be on another raid train in a week. There's nothing, I don't think there's anything wrong with promoting shows on other days. Not at all. And if you want, and one question people do ask is, can I do multiple raid trains in one day? If you have to make sure it's okay in the rules. If the rules say you can only be in one raid train that day, then you can only be in one raid train that day. There are some raid train conductors who say you cannot have another show on the same day. A raid train show or a regular show, you cannot do that. I don't care. If you want to do 6 raid trains and I'm one of them, as long as you still have energy and you're bringing a good vibe to the raid train, then I don't mind it if you're doing others. Linny, hello, 1990 says, I watched a show where a host was like, nobody likes this every time. Not one bid, not a good vibe. Yeah, it doesn't, I mean, there are some shows where people purposely are negative and it works for them, you know, kind of like those restaurants you go to where the waitress is rude to you. Um, I mean, that works for some people, but most raid trains are positive vibes, not negative. Um, Melody says, I hate it when sellers yell chat. I mean, that's a thing that works in some categories and not in others. In some categories, it's like, let's go, chat, let's go, let's go. I don't like saying chat. I'd rather say friends instead. I see you. I don't see you. It's chat just sounds, I don't know. I don't know. I don't like the chat. I don't like the chat phrase. Dear whatnot. I don't like the chat phrase. Find a new word. Lenny says, I visit new sellers with the goal to visit later, so that's a good idea. Yeah, so swipe, swipe, chat, swipe, swipe it up. Again, it depends on your, if that's your vibe, stick with it if it's working. It's all good. Some categories, they're used to it. Melody, oh my gosh, you didn't have to tip me. Thank you so much. Everybody, please follow Melody. Let me just put you on moderate. Yes, there you go. Thank you so much. I love you. People also works. Yo, people. No, that sounds too move. When I was a kid, I'm digressing. When I was a kid, let me just switch. When I was a kid, I was about 2 years old, and we were downtown Toronto, and we were waiting to get on a streetcar, and it was like really crowded and busy. Anybody who's in Toronto understands that you're waiting to get on the streetcar. We were probably on like Queen West or something, or Queen East, and the it finally arrived, and then the people were like, didn't feel, I was on my papa's shoulders, and the people weren't moving fast enough for me, so I screamed out, move people, move. And from then on, the rest of my life, my father, anytime I got impatient, would say, move people, move, to make fun of me for that. So there you go. Now you know something about now you know something more about me. I'm always telling you things that you really don't need to know. Okay, so make sure that you're running auctions or running flash sales constantly, pinning things, running things, all of that. Every time you do that, you're doing another signal to Whatnot's algorithm that this is a show that should be put higher in discoverability. And you can learn more about discoverability at help.whatnot.com. Just type in discoverability. So focus on the fun and not the sales, especially in raid trains. I find that if you're fun and engaging, and you could add some stuff in, maybe you do like a fun game in the middle of it that's, no one wins a prize, but it's just something fun, trivia, I don't know. You just do something that's different and fun so that people are like, this is a person I want to see again. Now, if that's not your vibe, if fun is not your vibe, if you're doom and gloom and goth, and then don't join like a silly raid train. Create a goth raid train. Find a goth raid train. There's more of you out there. You can do that together. So if you find a vibe, if that's your vibe, and like a wig party, the wigging out raid train is not for you, then think of something that is for you. And we'll talk about that in a second, about how to do your own raid trains. Okay, so make sure that when you're doing your show, you watch your time. Have a moderator give you countdown warnings, like 10 minutes, 5 minutes. There's a feature that you can use as a moderator that hides a message. It's in the /. Once you're a moderator, you will see a / and hide. And then you can, and I'm not going to moderate everybody right now, but you can look it up on if you go to help.whatnot.com and read about moderator tools, you'll find out all about it. And that's what you want to do is just do a little hidden message that only the seller and the other moderators can see, that says 10 minutes to go, 5 minutes to go. It's okay if you do it as an announcement too. You might want to do sort of, if you're a moderator, you might say only 10 minutes left, get your requests in soon. I always make sure that I say, all right, oh my gosh, I've only got 5 minutes left. If you have any requests, please get them in now, because we only have time to run so many things. Now, if you say at 5 minutes, which I don't recommend, I'd say at 10 minutes, depending on how long your raid train is, I'd say make sure that you're giving notification as soon as possible and say, okay, like, I got only 10 minutes left. If you have any requests, let me know. I only have 5 minutes left. Are there any last requests before I run these last things? Make sure your mods also look to see if you have any pre-bids on things that you've missed, so you can run those because you've already got a bid on it. So run those, make sure you run those things. In fact, if you've got a lot of pre-bids on something, run it like run all your pre-bids about halfway through your show is my recommendation. Okay. And then when you're doing those final requests, if you get a ton of final requests at the last minute, like you get 10 things, now you switch to sudden death and you do 10 or 15, I would say 15 or 20 second if you have a group that's not used to sudden death. If you don't always do sudden death, if you're not in a category that does sudden death, like sports cards and that are used to sudden death. TCG is used to sudden death. Vintage decor is not. They're not, those folks aren't used to sudden death. So make sure that you say, all right, I'm switching to sudden death. So there's only 15 seconds. The clock doesn't reset when you make a bid. So make sure that you put your custom bid in. I'm running it now. Go. 15 seconds, 10 seconds, 5 seconds, 4, last call, sold. Thank you. Okay, next thing, 15 seconds, 10 seconds, 5 seconds, last call, sold. And do that. Make sure that you're calling that out to alert people, because a lot of people are just listening in. You want to say, okay, I'm going to run the duck next. I'm running the duck. 15 seconds only, folks. Make sure you get those custom bids in so you don't miss out. Go, go, go. Go to the next thing so that you can run as many things as possible in that last short period of time. And then finally, start saying goodbye before your time is up. Do not look at the clock and say, oh, it's 11:59. I have to raid in 1 minute, and then start saying your goodbyes. Start your goodbyes at about 2 minutes too, if you're someone that takes a while to say goodbyes. But your goodbyes should probably be pretty short. If you're doing a quick raid train, if you're doing a 20-minute raid train, your goodbye is thank you so much. Everyone, please follow and bookmark my shows. I look forward to seeing you again. We're going to raid into Angie's This and That now. She's awesome. Hang on 1 second. I'm going to raid her right now. We're going to go. Okay, thanks again, guys. Let's go raid. Bye. And that's it. You can do it really quick. If you haven't raided before, make sure that you do a few shows before a raid train and always raid into another seller. In fact, I think even if you don't do raid trains, I believe that the best thing that you can do to promote your business and grow your business on Whatnot is to do lots of raiding. Every time you end a show, raid into somebody else and try to mix it up so you're going into somebody different each time. Maybe you go into a big seller once. Maybe you go into a smaller seller. Maybe you go into a medium seller. Maybe you go into a friend. But always, always raid when you end a show. That way, when you do a raid train, you're already going to know what to do. It's going to be easy peasy. So make sure that when you raid the next person on time, because you don't want to eat into their time. If you end late, you're going to take time away from their show, and that's not fair. Also, don't end extra early. Maybe you run out of stuff. You could run that stuff again until your time is up. If you are going to raid extra early, because say you need to go because your daughter just called and she's had an accident and you need to go, make sure that you first said, okay, I need to go, guys. Can someone message Angie's This and That and see if she's able to go on early? And then somebody can go message Angie or go into Angie's show if she's already started early and say, can you take the raid now because Kim has to go? And then if Angie says, yep, okay, yep, give me 1 minute and then go, then your moderator can come back and say, yep, it's okay, go ahead, she's ready for you in about 30 seconds. And then you can raid. Don't raid into a show early without making sure that the seller that you're raiding into is ready for you when you do a raid train, because you can really put somebody off of their groove and their vibe by joining really when they're not ready for it, right? Because a lot of us will plan how we do our shows so that we run a few things, we chat at the beginning while we're waiting until the raid comes, and then when the raid comes, we have things planned to do, and you come in too early, you can throw someone completely off. So always consider that too. You may think you're being generous by giving that person extra time, but if they haven't asked for that extra time, there's no generosity there. Sorry, I said it. Okay, and so this is one of the things to always remember is glitch happens. Things happen. So make sure that you have a secondary device handy in case of glitches, so that if you're not able to run auctions off of your iPhone, you've got a laptop nearby, or you've got your husband is nearby and he's got an Android device, and just sign in to Whatnot on his device, and then you can run on there. Always have an extra device handy, a secondary device in case of glitches. It happens every once in a while. It doesn't happen a lot anymore. Once upon a time, Whatnot was really glitchy. It is much better now, so it doesn't happen very often, but it's always good to have that backup so that you can keep running your show and keep running auctions. Also, if necessary, you may need to do a manual raid to the next seller. If for some reason raiding isn't working for you and you try it on another device and it still doesn't work, then what you do is you say, okay, folks, we're having trouble with raiding. What I need you to do is I am going to, no, don't, I don't, I'm just gonna, I'm gonna pick somebody. Let's see. We're going to pick the old lady's attic because she's right there. So everyone, please, I'm putting in her name now. Where is she? There you are. Where everyone, please click on the old lady's attic right now. Go to the profile, go into her show, and go into her show that way, because I'm having trouble raiding. So we're going to do a manual raid. And when you get over there, please say raid from the Red Rooster so she knows that it came from us. That's the way you do it. Hi, Emerald City. So a manual raid is not the best way to raid, of course, because you're going to lose people. But you say, tap on this person's name, and then you can go into their stream. That is the best way to do it. Tap on the profile. Everyone go into the old lady's attic, and you will be able to do it. No. It's an example. Emerald City Vintage. It's an example. We're doing an example of what to do if you have to do a manual raid. Okay, so any other suggestions that folks have before I move on out on how to actually run your own raid train? I know it was just an example, the old lady's attic. I was just using your name because your name was there. It's just an example. If you were the next person on the raid train, you would be live waiting for me to raid into you. So I could just put your name into the show, into the chat, and then people could tap on it and then raid into you. It's an excellent name. It's the best name. Okay, any other suggestions? And Angie's This and That, who's in the show right now, runs a family fashion raid train on the third Sunday of every month, and that's this Sunday. So if you're interested, message Angie's This and That. All right, let's get into running your own train. How to run your own train. This is not for the faint of heart. First of all, if you want to run your own raid train, you must like people. Very important. You must be patient. You must be organized. And most importantly, you must be flexible. Like, there are all kinds of different people in this world, and you are going to have to encounter all of them. And if you don't like people, if you're not a people person, probably running a raid train is not for you. You also need to be patient because people will have questions that you feel like they could probably find the answers for, or they ask you for the thumbnail for when you've already sent it to them. Just be patient, just be kind, answer their questions, send it again. You need to be organized. If you're not organized, chaos will prevail. So make sure that you're organized and make sure you're flexible, because stuff happens. Things are going to go wrong, and you're going to have to be able to jump in and save the day, or put out fires, or find another seller to fill in for somebody whose daughter just got sick and she needs to drive to Alaska to look after the grandbabies. All of those things happen. Okay, so what do you have to consider before you run a raid train? First and foremost, what dates are you going to do it? Do you want to do it a month from now? What day of the week are you going to do it? Are you going to do it like Angie's is always the third Sunday of every month? And it's family fashion. So that's her theme, is family fashion raid train. The schedule is, do you want it to start at 6 a.m.? Do you want it to be a 24-hour raid train? Do you want it to be like 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. only? How long do you want the train to run for? You got to think about all those things. You need to decide what your rules are. Are you going to require giveaways? Are you going to require coupons? Is it going to be a buy it now only auction? A buy it now only show? Is it going to be a flash sale only shows? Is it going to be auction only shows? Are you going to have requirements like $5 on the 5th? When I ran it, was everything in the auction tab had to start at $5. Only $5. Not 6, not 4, not 3, not 10, only 5. And everything in the bin could be whatever it wants. Are you going to have certain rules? Like there's one raid train operator who says if you have to do a certain number of giveaways, and if you do those giveaways, your moderators cannot join the giveaway. They can't win the giveaway, so they can't enter the giveaway. So you have to make sure, are you okay with that? Are you going to be able to control your moderators? Because you're going to get in trouble if one of your moderators wins the giveaway, because this is the rule of the conductor of this particular train. Or the rule is that you have to have at least 60 items preloaded 2 weeks in advance. Some of them are like very, very specific. Like you must do sudden death and it must be 10 seconds and you must do X number of items in this period of time. Some of them are more like, just run items. Like mine are, do you boo, is basically you do your show the way you want. The only thing that I ask you for is that everything is for thrift to gift, is thrifted, gently pre-loved, wholesale lots are handmade, right? Angie says mine are relaxed. Yeah. So sometimes there's like, you need to decide what rules you want. And then also, who is going to be invited to this? Are you going to open it up to the world? Are you going to like post it on Discords and on community chats and tell all your friends to join? Or are you going to be very exclusive and decide, you know what? I'm only going to pick these people and invite them first. And then if there's any openings, I'll invite some more people. I'm on raid trains sometimes where it's very specific and very tight. Like this, you are the only people that are being invited to this. And sometimes I'm on raid trains where it's like, it's just open to the world. Anybody can join. No, like some raid trains are like, you can't be a new seller. You have to have sold at least 1,000 items, etc. So it all depends. What is your invite list going to look like? How do you want to run your raid train? And it's okay, however you want to run it. Whether any of us like the rules or the way that you run it or like your theme or not is none of our freaking business. You run your raid train the way you want to run it. Okay. Oops, I just moved that out of the way. That's not what I wanted to do. Undo. Next page. There's another page. Come on, Canva. Okay. And then it's really important. You need to promote your shows, promote the raid train. When you've got people signed up, you need to start promoting it. When you still need to have people signed up, you have to promote it. A lot of raid train conductors will do like a pre-train show to highlight all the people that are in the raid train. I did that a few times and it was great, but it was a lot of work and I just don't have the time to do that. So I've made the decision that I'm not doing that. However, I've got some other tools that I do provide to people who attend my raid train. So let's talk about that. The other thing you need to do is I want to say being a raid train conductor is kind of like being a parent or a babysitter because you need to check, remind, and encourage. So I'm going to say it's more like parenting than babysitting because they're not children, but you need to check and make sure that they've booked their shows, that they're in the right time slot. You need to make sure that they've got the right thumbnail. You need to make sure that they've got the right title. You got to message them and nag them or remind them. I put remind, but you're nagging. And then you've got to encourage them. Like, hey, everybody, don't forget, you need, everyone, please share your shows on your social media. Don't forget to talk about your shows at your raid train show, in other shows, etc., etc. You need to encourage. So you have to check, remind, and encourage on an ongoing basis, which I'm not that good at. I'm not also good at this part either as a raid train conductor. Communicate. So, you want to make sure that you're doing good communication with the people who are on your raid train. Make sure they have the right thumbnail. I create Canva templates that they can use on social media. And I have like tags that they can use for for thrift to gift. I have things that they can use that they can share on social media to kind of pump up the excitement on their social media. A lot of people are not social media savvy and they're not design savvy. So helping them out by creating a quick template on Canva that you can share. Learn more about that at canva.com. And that really helps. Not everybody will use it unless you make it a requirement that they have to use it. But I think just having it there available does help some people. The other thing is create a group chat on Whatnot. I think you can go up to 32 people now. It may be more. So most raid trains, I no longer have to split up the chat between like morning and afternoon. I used to have to do that. So there's more people that are allowed in a chat now. So you can create a group chat. Make sure that you go in and edit either on iPhone or on a computer the title of the chat, because otherwise it'll just say like Angie's this and that, top loader, majestic, etc. in alphabetical order, and it won't say what it is. So when people see there's like a group chat, sometimes they'll ignore it if they don't see, oh, that says. So what I usually do is I'll say Saturday, July 25th. And then thrift to gift raid train, so that the first thing that they see is like, oh, this is about Saturday and it's July 25th, right? They know exactly what the date is. So make sure you put everybody in the group chat. And if you can, change that title. And you can learn more about that at help.whatnot.com. That helps. Everyone gets a chance to introduce themselves, encourage people to introduce themselves, remind them of the rules, give them the thumbnail, and give them the schedule. Now the schedule can change frequently because things happen, and so let's talk about that. So be prepared for cancellations, for glitches, and for emergencies. And always remember to keep calm and be kind, because how you interact with that person when they have to cancel on you, you can be angry, or you can just say, oh, I'm so sorry you can't do this. I was really looking forward to your show. Hopefully you can be with us next time. That works a lot better than, oh my God, now I've got to go find somebody. I don't know if I can find anybody. The raid train is screwed. That's it. Like, I'm never doing raid trains again. That's not the keep calm and be kind. Most people will feel guilty already about canceling on you. You do not need to add to that guilt. Share the workload if you can. Hi, my name is Kim, and I do not do this. I need to share the workload. Find moderators who can be in at different times, schedule them in for different times when they can ride the raid train, so that you don't have to ride the raid train the entire day. If you do like a 12-hour raid train, that's a lot of sitting watching Whatnot shows and typing little like announcements, right? Like, that's a lot of work that for very little financial reward or personal reward, really. So find some moderators that can help you out, so you can listen in, but you don't have to be as active in all of your shows, all of the raid train shows, unless you want to be. And also, another way that a lot of people share the workload is that they have co-conductors. So it'll be like, Angie's this and that, and Thrifting with ADHD, and the Red Rooster present the fashion raid train, the fabulous fashion raid train, or something, right? Like, you can work together as a team, and then you can split up the work, so that all these things of checking and nagging and modding and everything is shared over a bunch of people. So just everybody gets their own responsibility. Again, I'm not very good at this. And then every time you do a raid train, you're going to learn something, you're going to make mistakes, you're going to F up, you're going to learn about some people that maybe you don't want on your next raid train, because they canceled on you 5 minutes before their show or something and had like a really lame excuse. Not a real emergency, just they feel tired or something, or they just don't run their show and you're suddenly scrambling. So learn and grow, find the vibe that you want for your raid train, and adjust your raid train. And you may decide, you know what, it was an open call for everybody was invited to join, but next time I'm only gonna invite 20 people. You can change things up. You don't need to stay stagnant. You can learn and grow. And yeah, that's about it. So the most important thing is that glitches, cancels, and emergencies will happen. So I'm just going back to the slide because I just remembered. One of the things that I do for all of my raid trains is I have a pop-up that is already pre-booked. And if I don't use it one month, I move it to the next month. And I just schedule it like midday so that people will bookmark it. They know that I'm going to possibly pop up and do a show. And it just says pop up in case of a show for the Thrift to Gift raid train or for the True North Strong raid train. So that's what I usually do to let me turn off face cam. There we go. That's what I usually do to just sort of be prepared in case I do need to pop up and do a show. I've already got a show booked that I can just quickly hit start show and run the show without having to think about it. So it's already preloaded and just waiting. And if I don't use it, then it just goes into the next month. I highly recommend that. If you're a conductor of a raid train, have a plan and have a show already booked that says pop up. Bookmark me in case of pop up, so that you can just go live and not worry about not having enough bookmarks to make the show stand out. Right? You don't want to like just suddenly go live and have nobody have bookmarked the show, and so it's like only the people that raid into you are the people that join you. You don't want that. But as a conductor, you need to make sure that you're ready to go live if you need to. Okay, all right, I'm done. Any questions about raid trains at all? It's already 10:55. So this is also the time when you feel free to share your shows and ask your questions. Tell us where you're from and what you sell so that everybody can follow everybody else. And I'm just going to check if there are any questions. Okay, no, we're good for questions. Okay. So with that in mind, if there's no other questions or anything, then I'm going to find someone to raid because that was easy. But you may have questions and I'm just not seeing them. But yeah, share where you're from and what you sell. If you're a new seller, if you're new to Whatnot, say hi so that everybody can get to know you and follow you, even if you don't have shows booked yet. There you go. Hi Q Gems says Toronto new seller. Hello friends. Hi Q Gems. So excited that you've joined us. And then I think Luciana, you're thinking about you're in Canada and you're thinking about running, starting to run shows. Angie's this and that's in Canada. Melody was in earlier. There's lots of people in here. And I will be doing another show tomorrow morning. I see somebody that's live right now that's new to Whatnot. Kelly Irish says, second show this Sunday, vintage decor in northern BC. That's awesome. Linny 1990. I'm a buyer from Saskatchewan. I never find Canadian sellers what I like to collect. Linny, tell me what you like to collect. Let's find you some Canadian sellers. Picky's Picks is doing comic books every Saturday. Canadian seller. Luciana says, I'm a new seller, former Amazon seller, and lots of removals. Most of my removals are expensive stuff. Is space for expensive items on what? Yes, there is. Just preload them and put as much detail as possible. People are looking for bargains, of course. So everybody looks for bargain, just like on Amazon, right? So you can always put it up and then put a discount on it if it doesn't sell in the first couple of shows. It's up to you. Sleek Styles is in Canada, hasn't started yet, but will. We're excited when you do. Having a show Thursday, and Raid Train is on the 17th. Follow Angie's This and That and bookmark her shows. And if you're interested in joining her Raid Train, it's on the 17th of this month. It's a family fashion Raid Train. Clothing, yes. You would do great with the family fashion Raid Train, Sleek Styles. And then on the 25th of the month, I have my Thrift to Gift Raid Train that everyone's welcome to. And then also, if you're a Canadian seller, there is a True North Strong Raid Train, hour-long shows on the 10th of each month. Sign-ups are open for September. If you're interested, you can look in my show notes. Prairie Nights, hello. Prairie Nights is also in Canada. Little Squirrel 506 is in New Brunswick, Canada, seller of jewelry and vintage decor. And soon, little baby squirrel. Little baby squirrel. Baby squirrel. So excited. Baby squirrel. Okay, who else is in here? Last chance, because I found someone that we're gonna raid who's newer, and she doesn't have a lot of people in her shows right now. High Q Gems does handpick ethically sourced Madagascar stones. Ooh, that sounds awesome. I'm already in love. Madagascar alone just sounds amazing. Add Veer. There she is. Okay. Super high quality. I'm sure. Well, you're high Q Gems. We can expect nothing less. All right. We're going to raid into Advirama 333. She's a newer seller on Whatnot. She only has 2 people in her room. So let's go bless her with a whole bunch of love. She's selling knitting and crochet supplies. She's got yarn, and I love yarn. So let's go check it out. I love you guys so much. Thank you for hanging out. If you have any other questions about raid trains, feel free to message me, or you can always come to my next morning show. I will be on tomorrow morning as well. Love you guys so much. Have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow.